there's a lot of other things too, including some minor updates in the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping, which I'll get into as well. But mainly, what the purpose of today's show is to celebrate President's Day with the greatest president ever, and that's Donald Trump. You know, we are so lucky to be living through this time. We really are. I mean, you know, there's not a person alive, regardless of their political background and baggage and agenda, okay? Every person alive, not just those of you listening to me right now, there is not a single person alive in this country who's not going to be telling their grandchildren, I was there when, and fill in the blank, Donald Trump did it, right? Everyone's it's really, that's what's going to happen. People are going to be telling their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren all about the Trump presidency, all of it, no matter what their political affiliation is. He is the most historical president we'll ever live through. And yet I've never seen a president that they work so hard to stop, right? The Democrats have always been against Republican presidents, and we've always had rhinos out there causing problems. But we are in an incredibly new era right now with President Trump. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, as an example, you know, she's retired from Congress. And basically what Marjorie Taylor Greene's new job is, and this is going to be her job for the rest of her life, is to trash and undermine President Trump. And that's what she's doing, and we're gonna cover that. One of the things I talked about over the weekend here on YouTube that I'm also going to cover a little bit because there's been some updates is the Epstein. Now we're finding out, courtesy of Cat Turd, that Steve Bannon was leaking directly to Jeffrey Epstein during Trump's first term when he worked at the White House. And I wonder, is that why Trump fired him out of the blue during the first term? Right? Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty shocked to hear this. Pam Bondi has announced that she's released all of the Epstein files, that there are no more Epstein files for them to release. We're gonna cover all of that on this President's Day. And if you'd like to call in, the number is toll free. It's pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We're about 2 minutes or so from the radio show starting. So when the radio show starts in a couple of minutes, I'll do an intro. We'll talk about it. And I got a lot to go through, including this idiotic AOC. The thing she... When Marco Rubio was talking about how the Spaniards brought us the cowboys, and she responded with this stupidity. Let me see if I got this queued up. I want to play this later, but I'll give you guys a little bit of a preview. She is as dumb gets. You cannot be dumber than AOC. That's right. What does that mean? You know, there were no horses in the New World, by the way. The Europeans brought horses to the New World. And she says the Mexicans are Spanish descendants. It doesn't get dumber than AOC. It really does not. And I don't know what slaves had something to do with the development of cowboys. Where I missed that as well. So we got a lot to cover today. And let's see, less than a minute and we'll be live. So let me check. If you're on hold, hang in there. Less than a minute. Okay. All right. We got about 45 seconds. Is she not aware that the Mexicans are descendants of Spaniards? Oh my goodness. It doesn't get dumber than AOC. So we got a lot to cover today, needless to say. All right, hang in there, guys. Got about 25 seconds. one of those days. If you're on hold, hang in there. We got about 10, 12 seconds. Stand by. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. Holy smokes. And we've got a lot to cover. It is President's Day, and I wonder how many people are off work today for President's Day. It's federal holiday. It is President's Day. Big holiday. And you know, what I wanted to do on this President's Day is celebrate, of course, the greatest president of our lifetime, and arguably the greatest president in history. And that, of course, is Donald Trump, the 45th and 47th president of the United States. And doing that for a lot of reasons. One, the president certainly deserves the praise. And you're welcome to call in and share your thoughts on the president on President's Day. This is President Trump's day. It's like a birthday, President's Day. And you know, this coverage over the weekend that I'm seeing from fake Republicans, fake MAGA, traitors and traitoresses like Marjorie Trader Greene and others, Massey and others, trashing this president and everything he's doing every step of the way, it just makes me sick. Everything that President Trump has gone through to be where he is right now, doing the things that he's doing. Think about it. Everything President Trump has done, that's why they shot him in Butler. And then they tried to do it again at the golf course. They tried to put him in federal prison. They tried to put him in state prison. They tried to put him in the county jail in Fulton County. And when none of that worked, they shot him. And when that didn't work, they tried to shoot him again. So how dare all these people claiming to be Republicans, panicans, frauds, go out there and attack this great president who sacrificed so much and has gone through so much to do all the things he's doing. You know, as an example, this SAVE Act, okay? We're on the verge of getting this done. And, you know, President Trump, he got Susan Collins to agree to vote for the SAVE Act, which requires state-issued photo ID to vote. And he made a concession to Susan Collins to get her support. And the SAVE Act, next to overturning Roe v. Wade, because President Trump's overturning of Roe v. Wade, millions, hundreds of millions, maybe even billions of people over the course of time will live because President Trump overturned Roe v. Wade. So I think no matter what President Trump does, I think always overturning Roe v. Wade, because he's saved so many lives with that, will probably be his greatest accomplishment, overturning Roe v. Wade. You may agree with that, you may not, but that's what I think. But after overturning Roe v. Wade, the second most important thing that President Trump can do is sign the SAVE Act into law, requiring state-issued photo ID to vote. And President Trump said that state-issued photo ID requirement to vote will be in effect during the midterm elections in November. So we've got the 51 votes because of Susan Collins. President Trump made a deal with her. And what President Trump removed from the SAVE Act was the citizenship requirement. So I'm hearing all these panicans over the weekend. It's all over. The citizenship requirement's not there. Listen, the citizenship requirement wasn't going to hold up. The citizenship requirement would require everyone to get a passport. I mean, what percentage of American citizens have passports? And that's the only way you could do it. And the passport requirement would have been holed up in the courts forever, for the next 100 years. It wouldn't have gotten through with the citizenship requirement. But I'm hearing all these people, it means nothing. All the illegals have driver's licenses in California. No, it means a lot. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. Now remember, in the last presidential election, President Trump won the majority vote, right? And he won all of the battleground states. Remember that? Kamala Harris won a handful of states. President Trump won every state that requires photo ID to vote. Kamala Harris only won states that don't require voter ID. She didn't win a single state that has a voter ID requirement. But here's the other thing, okay? And I've had to show ID to vote here in Florida every time I voted for as long as I can remember. And when I go and vote, and no matter what polling location or what election I go to vote in here in Florida, when they ask for my ID, they look at it, they look at me, they check it with what they have on their computer. They look at me again. I sign it, they check, they match my signature when I show up to vote with the signature on my driver's license, and then they give me the ballot. And I know a lot of you are saying, well, what difference does it make? You know, they start invoking Hillary Clinton. What difference does it make? Well, first of all, who knows more about negotiating, you or Donald Trump? His book, The Art of the Deal. I mean, that's his thing. With state-issued photo ID, yeah, in these blue states, the illegals got driver's licenses. Yeah, we're not going to be able to take care of that right now. We'll take care of that at another time. You got to do things in steps. But that still means state-issued photo ID will be required even in the blue states in the federal elections. Yeah, but they got the illegals got the license. With state-issued photo ID, everything is done now on computer. Think about it. When you go and vote, everything's done on the computer. They pull you up on the computer with your ID and they match everything up, right? That means that even in the blue states, every ballot is going to have a state-issued photo ID connected to it. Now, for the panicans and the liberally impaired in the audience, so what does that mean? Every ballot will have to have a state-issued photo ID connected to it. So what does that mean? That ballots that do not have a state-issued photo ID connected to it will not be counted. So you can't pull up with a semi-truck filled with ballots because of the ID requirement. Get it? I mean, my goodness, I thought it was common sense. And I'm listening to these people over the weekend trashing Trump over it. He caved to Susan Collins. Susan Collins caved to him, idiots. You know, President Trump, The Art of the Deal, get Art of the Deal and read it. If you've read it, read it again, because obviously you didn't absorb what was in it, or just follow the deal-making President Trump has made in his 2 terms. President Trump always asks for a lot more than he wants so he can give concessions. So some guy pulls up with an 18-wheeler full of ballots in Pennsylvania, but there's no IDs attached to those ballots. They don't get counted. Problem solved. The rest of it we'll take care of down the road. You can't get everything you want all at once. You have to do things in steps. My goodness. All these people think they know more about deal making and negotiations than Donald Trump. It blows my mind. If that were true, you'd be billionaires. So here we are on this President's Day, and of course we're going to appreciate our great president. If you'd like to share your thoughts on, well, anything I brought up so far, or your thoughts on the president on this President's Day, you're certainly welcome to call. The number is toll-free. We are here live on President's Day. It is Monday, February 16th. The number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. And I want to remind all of you that the free shipping offer is in effect still at mypillow.com. Don't miss this chance. During the mega sale, it's free shipping on every order with our promo code Kane at checkout. This is your time. Mother's Day will be here before you know it. Father's Day is a month after that. Or maybe just for yourself. Go to mypillow.com and load up during the mega sale. Free shipping on every order with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. at mypillow.com. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. We'll be right back. All right, we're clear. I mean, don't you guys get it? I mean, it's so, who knows more, the president or you? And if you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to go to the phones when we get back from the break. This is a radio station break we're in right now. But that's it, guys. Think about it. President Trump, he knows exactly what he's doing. Now, so far as the illegals that have driver's licenses, we'll take care of that at another time. You can't get everything you want all at once. You've got to do things in steps. And this is step number one. You want to have this in place for the midterm elections? Just follow Trump's lead. He knows what he is doing. Oh my goodness. I get so tired of these panicins. I really do. Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Give me a break. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Trader Greene. Her new profession out of Congress is trashing Trump constantly. We'll get into her in a little bit and her latest. Okay, let me look at the time here. Okay, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. If you're on hold, stand by. Like this here, I'm going to play this a little later. I'll give you an example. This scumbucket Massey. Okay, see, Massey's job is to try to get this brand going, the Epstein administration. President Trump, and it was just announced by Pam Bondi yesterday, they have released all of the Epstein files that the federal government has. They have all now been released. We got just over a minute, and we'll be back, so if you're on hold, stand by. That's it. It's all out there now. Everything the federal government has in its possession has been released. But, it's like President Trump said before he signed that bill into law. No matter what we do, they're still not going to be happy, right? They're still not going to be happy. They're always going to say, it's not enough. What about this? What about that? Get over it. Everything's been released. Promises made, promises kept. Trump said he was going to release all the Epstein files, and he did. All right, we got about 30 seconds, so hang in there. Our number is toll-free. It's pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are located on this President's Day. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Callers on hold, stand by. Of course, we are celebrating President Trump on this President's Day. Our number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. This is Richie, Brian. Good
morning.
Richie. I understand. This is where we're gonna knock heads here a little bit. I'm not gonna blame President Trump. He's got to do what he's got to do because we don't have the numbers. But if you think this is such a super deal right now, you're right about the dumping of the ballots. But what you failed to, in other words, there is a black market for IDs all over the place, especially California. All your Democratic states. You got all these people that came over here illegally that they're trying to get out of here. Let me ask you, and I know Susan Collins is a total idiot, and he had to do what he has to do. A piece of the pie is better than no piece of the pie. But if you think this is the greatest legislation, without the provision of American citizenship. I think you're out of your mind.
Oh my goodness!
And
my goodness! I mean,
no,
you know,
you
Richie.
go, oh my goodness,
Richie,
Brian,
hold on,
come on.
hold on a second.
No,
all right, I'll let you
you
finish.
take,
Finish. Get it off your chest.
Yeah, you could take chopped meat and make it a filet mignon. You are so skewed when it comes to this. Now, I'm not blaming President Trump for this, because he hasn't got the numbers, and you got rhinos in there that's a major problem. But this is a half-assed legislation because there's going to be fake IDs.
All right,
everything.
Richie, it will be done in steps. All right,
it can't be done in steps. It will never happen.
Well, then you'll get nothing done. So let's get nothing done.
That's exactly right. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Goodness.
He had to take a little.
Wait. You're always you think like a loser. Listen, let me
I'm not
explain.
a loser. You're
I didn't say you are a loser. I didn't say you are a loser. You're thinking like a loser.
But you're thinking, you're thinking, your way of thinking here. I understand. I'm being rational about this.
Oh yeah, you sound rational.
He has no choice.
You sound rational.
He has no choice.
Richie, all right, let's talk. Let's talk. Okay. So, I explained in the first segment what state issue photo ID will do is every ballot will have to be connected to a state issue driver's license, okay? And I understand that the illegals all have driver's licenses in these blue states, so the blue is still going to be blue to a certain extent. However, we're going to see with the state-issued photo ID requirement. Look at the Democrats are in a panic, and I'm watching the pundits over the weekend with these Democrats on like Schumer, and they keep asking them. Massey's a piece of work, and they keep asking them these questions like, well, all the polls show that the majority of Democrats support state-issued photo ID, including Hispanics and blacks. So why are you against it? And their pat answer is Jim Crow 2.0. If this is such a disaster for Republicans, the SAVE Act, why are the Democrats not only in a hysterical panic but going against their base? Why are they losing it over this if it's so terrible?
I don't think they're in the. I think what they're doing behind closed doors is celebrating Susan Collins. Because I think, and that's no.
Richie, the reason they're in a panic is because they know while the blue states are still going to be blue, they know they can't do ballot.
They're going to get out the vote. You're going to get out the vote.
They know that they can't do ballot dumps. And they're in a panic.
Half of the proposal.
Well, hey, listen. I would rather take care of half of it right now than none of it.
Yeah,
and then this is what's going to. Hold on, Richie. We get through 1, 2, or 3 election cycles, okay? Which I include midterms in that. We get through 1, 2, or 3 election cycles with this requirement. The entire tone in the Congress will be different and more aligned with the correct representation of this country. Then down the road, you can get the citizenship requirement in. We just can't get it through now.
Question. Yeah, question. Okay. If you wanted to prove you're a citizen, because when I was a little kid, my parents went and got me a Social Security number. Now you can get them on the black market. When I went to get a driver's license, I got a driver's license. They didn't ask me for proof of citizenship when I got the driver's license. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is that the Democrats are so underhanded that they are going to have such a major get out the vote with all these illegal people in the country right now that there's no question that the ID will be there, but the ID will be from somebody that wasn't born in the United States, and there's nothing we could do about that.
Only in the blue states with
all over the place. What are you talking about?
They don't have. If what you said was true, they wouldn't be all over television panicking. They know.
No, they're happy. They know
they're not happy. They're not.
They got the majority. Listen to me.
Nope.
All you need to do is where were you born? You were born in Ohio. If you wanted to prove you were a citizen, you could go to Ohio. They got records of your birth, and they'll send you a birth certificate in the mail. That's what this fight
You've got to do things in steps, Richie. You can't get everything.
It ain't going to happen once we let go.
All right, Richie. All right, I'm gonna move on. I appreciate the call. The rest of you on hold, stand by. I mean, my goodness. I mean, if it were up to me, only property owners would be able to vote. And by property owners, I mean a certain amount of net worth, because there's too many people out there that have nothing that are voting to redistribute the wealth of people to themselves. That's not going to happen. You can't get everything you want. You got to take what you can get, and you slowly move towards the citizenship requirement. Like, I have my passport here, right? And I'm going to have to renew it after this cruise because it will expire in about a year. But, not everybody has these, and not a lot of people have passports. We would not get the citizenship requirement through. You got to do it incrementally. And this requirement that we now have in the SAVE Act is going to change the makeup of the Congress, where the representation in the Congress is not an accurate representation. That's why the Democrats are in a panic. All right? And, I'll tell you, if the Democrats were not in a panic all over television, I would say, okay, maybe you're right. But they are. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Charlie from Palm City, Florida.
Hey, Charlie.
Good morning.
Hey.
So I've been listening to your show, and I really love it. And I'm a New Yorker also. But I do believe that most Americans, except for the politicians in Congress and Senate and all of that, most people want voter ID.
Yes.
Even the Dems want voter ID. Mm-hmm. So
all the polls show it.
Yeah. And you're right about passports. What percentage of people have passports? I missed that.
It's a small. I don't have the exact number, but it's a small percentage.
It's very small.
Very small.
It's very, very small. Yeah. So we do need voter ID. We need to know that Americans are voting. We don't need illegals to vote. Period.
Well, what I've been telling you is the state-issued photo ID will stop the 18-wheelers filled with ballots being dumped off at polling locations. Each ballot will have to have a state-issued photo ID connected to it, a valid one, by the way. So that takes care of a lot of it right there. But we've got to do things in steps. And, Richie the bus driver, since he's only worked for the government his whole life, he doesn't really have an understanding of how deal-making works because he's never worked in the private sector. He's just a clock watcher. You click your time card and that's it. And he doesn't think about the big. You've got to take things a step at a time. And by the way, not only will we have the state-issued photo ID with all these deportations, the illegal turnout will be much lower than it has been in the past too, because they're afraid of getting deported.
Absolutely. We should have maybe an ICE person at every single voting location.
Or just a guy in a jacket that says ICE on it. How about that?
Perfect.
He doesn't have to be an ICE. He just has to have the jacket. You can buy them on Amazon.
I love it.
Maybe all MAGA people, maybe all Republicans should order ICE jackets off Amazon and wear them when you go and vote.
Well, you know what? Make yourself a billionaire and about yourself.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Palm City, appreciate the call. It is tax season. Guys, call Jamie Levac. Oh, man, Jamie Levac, he knows taxes. Jamie Levac from Swift Tax can take care of your taxes no matter where you're located in the United States, okay? Yeah, that's right. Not only can he handle your federal taxes, but those of you in states that have state income taxes, he can help you with that, your business taxes. He knows the new tax code inside and out. And Jamie Levac at Swift Tax is going to make sure that you get all the tax deductions that you're entitled to and that you get the largest return that you're entitled to as well. With Jamie Levac at Swift Tax, I talked to him the other day. He's telling me he's seen the largest returns on clients that he has ever seen. And people that are new clients that have come to him from the show in the last couple of months that he's been with us have said to him they've never gotten returns this large. Some have never gotten a return before, and now they are. With Jamie Levac at Swift Tax, you can also get your tax return in as little as 24 hours. Give him a call. This number rings directly to Jamie Levac. You can call or text 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. That's 954-773-1587. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour and be right back. All right, we have second standby. We're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Welcome back. Call us on hold, standby. Of course, we're celebrating President's Day and President Trump on this President's Day. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Hello?
What's your name? Yeah. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning. You want to know my name? My name is Rivka, R-I-V-K-A.
All right, we don't need a spelling. Just your first name will do. Turn down the volume of whatever you got me on in the background on. Whatever
Yes,
device.
sure, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Sure, you hear me now? Yes.
I can hear you. Yep. What's on your mind?
I love the show. I love the music. I love his opinion about the world, about the president. And he brings back memories since I have amnesia most of my life. I just want to say, I love the show and I love the music. And
Okay.
this is the best country in the world to live.
Yeah.
And anything else?
Where
yes,
are you
anything
from?
else?
Where are you from originally with this accent?
I'm from Tel Aviv.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
from Israel. I'm from
Okay,
the Holy
you're from
Land.
Israel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Awesome.
I am.
Awesome. All right. Well, I appreciate it and welcome to the program.
Yes.
All right. Take care. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, it's going to be one.
Oh, hey, Bobby from Indianapolis.
Hey, Bobby. What's up?
Oh, man, not much. Let me just be full disclosure with you, okay? I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. I live here in Indianapolis now. I got to admit that I've learned a lot of things from conservatives here in Indiana. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of these guys that say Democratic Party is always right. Nowhere near it. Okay? Also, I'm a political science major.
Okay.
The thing that bothers me is that when you start talking about Trump himself and some of the policies that he's passing, it's not cool. I'm just going to take one just to go ahead and shore it up.
Mm-hmm.
This last bill he passed, the one that passed about the voting, I'm sorry, I don't have the code and all that with me. I woke up this morning trying to get ready because I got to go in early. Got to make a living. You know what I'm saying?
You're talking about the SAVE Act, which requires state-issued photo ID to vote, which has not yet passed Congress, but that's okay. Go ahead. What's your beef with that?
It's in the rhythm. It's in the rhythm.
Yes.
This is what's funny to me, and this is what I see as ironic. Trump, I'm not going to be delusional. Trump won the last election, okay? But you have to look at how he won that last election. He had an increase in Hispanic voters. He had an increase in women voters.
He left out black voters and gay voters and Americans.
Hold on, wait. Hold on. If you want to call that an increase in black voters, then go ahead. But I'm sorry.
All right, listen. You said some things. Let me ask you about this. Okay, so you take issue with the state-issued photo ID to vote. Am I correct about that? You take issue with this.
Yes.
Okay, you told me.
Actually,
okay, slow down. Why are you opposed to that?
I'm not going to say I'm too opposed to it. I think it's kind of interesting, and I think you guys shot yourself in the foot.
Okay. How does it shoot us in the foot?
The reason I'm saying that is because the reason I say that is because the reason why Trump won the election is because one reason was male Hispanic voters came out for Trump in a drove, which kind of surprised me, but didn't.
Well, you think they don't have driver's licenses?
But at the same time, hold on, wait. But at the same time, you guys are pointing them out and saying most of them are illegal. And you're capturing them, deporting these guys.
The ones we're deporting are not the MAGA voters. Those are not the ones that voted for Trump. Not every. I know this is hard. Excuse me. I know this is hard for you to understand, but you're racially. You are racially stereotyping. Not all Hispanics. Most Hispanics. Excuse me. Most Hispanics are not in the country illegally.
No, they're not.
Contrary to what you think.
No, I'm not saying that they are. Never said that.
Like Marco Rubio.
My thing is, how do you know? How do you know?
Well, this is how I know. This is how I know. President in the last election, between President Trump and Kamala Harris. President Trump not only won the majority vote, he won every battleground state. Kamala Harris did win some states. Now listen to me carefully here, because this is, you say, how do you know? How do you know? Kamala Harris only won states that do not require state-issued photo ID. She only won states. Okay, no, it's true. She only won states that don't require ID. President Trump only won states that do require ID.
Question: how many states are out there that requires voter ID?
I don't have the exact number off the top of my head, but
I can tell you that right off top. 23.
But no, more than that.
23.
No. They still require. No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
It's 23.
President Trump only. No, you're wrong. I do have the breakdown. I'll pull it up later. I don't have time to pull it up while we're talking because we're in a conversation.
I know you don't.
I will pull it up in a few minutes. But President Trump won every state that requires photo ID. Kamala only won states that do not require photo ID. Okay? So those that have ID are the ones that vote Republican. The ones that don't are the ones that vote Democrat. And furthermore, yes. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. It's amazing.
Yeah, because that's false. That's totally false.
Okay, tell yourself that.
That's totally false.
Tell yourself that, Mr. Poli-Sci degree.
That's fact.
Mr. Poli-Sci degree.
We might disagree on that, but
why are Republicans excited about voter ID being required and Democrats are in a panic?
Democrats are not in a panic because of the photo ID. Democrats are in a panic because of discriminating against certain people be able to vote when they are able to vote.
Who does not have ID?
That's the
Who does not have ID?
Let's see. Poor people.
Poor people? Poor people don't have ID? I'm talking about U.S. citizens that are legally eligible to vote. Who does not have ID?
So you're saying U.S. citizens are poor people?
No, I'm telling you that every U.S. citizen...
You just said that.
What I am telling you is...
You just said that.
No, please, give me a break. Every U.S. citizen...
No, you did.
Excuse
I said poor
me.
people, and you said
every U.S. citizen who was legally eligible to vote, almost every single one of them would have an ID that's valid, unless there's
True. Not true.
Who do you know that doesn't have
true.
ID? Who do you know? Who does not have ID? Who does not have ID in 2026?
Poor people.
Give me a name. Homeless people have
that
ID.
Are disabled.
No.
People that are disabled.
How do you think they get? No, people that are disabled, they receive government benefits. They have to have ID to get the Social Security disability.
They do not have to have. No, you got to understand something. When you say ID, they might have an ID, but they don't have a valid ID, which means it expired.
Well, then you got to re-up it.
But how, when they're disabled, if they don't have a way to get around?
Most of the ID, like as an example, I have not had to go to the driver's license office in years. I renew my driver's license online.
Online. And how many of those people that are disabled, which are older people, know how to get online to do that?
Oh, you'd be surprised. Well, you got a lot of negative stereotypes.
Okay. I'm done. Sir, you just did me. I was hoping that I could go ahead and get.
This isn't 1826. This is 2026.
You have not been honest. You have not been honest in some of these matters, sir.
All right. Appreciate the call. Take care. Oh my goodness. I mean, how can I just go around and around and around? Everyone has ID in 2026. And if you don't, well, go get it. If your license is expired, go get it. You know, my wife is disabled, and she renews her driver's license and everything. I lost my driver's license a couple months ago. I had to get a duplicate. I went online and did it. And so far, hear the negative stereotypes from that guy? Senior citizens don't know how to use the internet? How many people are in this audience that are senior citizens that use the internet? Almost all of you, okay? Hispanics are mostly illegal, he said. My goodness, the bigotry of the left never ceases to amaze me. It's just it's endless, isn't it? I want to talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas and annuities. You know, annuities are amazing because with an annuity, your money that you put in the annuity, no matter what happens in the economy, is always safe. but you get that revenue stream each and every month for the rest of your life. Isn't that something? You're giving yourself a pension with an annuity. And I've talked to listeners of this audience in every different income bracket you can think of, and I always ask them the same thing. What is it you like most about the annuity? Every single one of them, no matter what their income bracket is, and some of them are people that are working class people, retired, living off of Social Security, and now their annuity income, and some of them have been millionaires multiple times over in this audience. And I always ask them the same thing. What is it about annuities that attracted you to call Jupiter Joe Thomas? What do you like most about them? And they say that monthly income. It's that monthly income. And that's why they get involved with annuities. Call Joe Thomas, no matter where you're located. Take advantage of the no-charge consultation. His number is 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. If you missed the number, just go to his website. It's right there, and it's easy to remember, jupiterjoe.com. That's jupiterjoe.com. We'll be right back. All right, we're clear. It is pouring outside. Holy smokes. The rain outside is, it's crazy rain. It's really pouring hard. All right, yeah, take advantage of that free shipping, guys, with mypillow.com promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. Yeah, we are in a drought, but it's pouring down rain outside, so that's good. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We got about 30 seconds, and we'll be back. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll go back to the phones when we get back from the break. Oh, man, if you'd like to call in, the number's toll-free, and it is pinned in the live chat. Ten seconds, guys. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. You know, someone in the live chat on YouTube said during the break, they said I'm working from Rush Limbaugh's playbook. Boy, that's a great. I wish I had that playbook. What a great compliment to compare me to Rush Limbaugh. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. They didn't mean it as a compliment because they're too stupid and narrow-minded as a liberal to understand what they're saying. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Loretta Borak, and I'm calling from Martin County, Mega, Florida.
All right, MAGA, Martin County. Loretta, how you doing?
I'm great. I just wanted to reach out and wish our greatest president, Donald Trump, a happy President's Day.
Yeah.
And thank him for everything he's doing out here for the people, even for the blind ones who don't see it or understand it. I mean, you can only put it in layman terms so many times. I thank you. I don't know how you deal with some of these callers that you get because they're just lost, I guess. I don't know. They don't see the whole picture.
They're lost in the wilderness.
They are. But I wanted to thank you for being out there. I wake up to you every morning.
Well, that's awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome.
It's the only thing that gets me down the road to work. So
Are you new to the show in
appreciate
Martin County? Are you one of the new radio stations carrying the show?
No, I haven't been.
How long you been listening?
I'm new here. Oh God, at least 2 years.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome, welcome. Make sure you tell everyone in MAGA Martin County about us. All right.
Oh, I do. What I'd like is some bumper stickers or window decals.
Oh, really?
To
Yeah.
get you out there.
You know, our radio stations used to do that. We used to have bumper stickers years ago. I don't know. Are those back in?
Well, let's put it this way. I would have one.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because it tells everyone.
Yeah.
You know, and then they're like, oh, they see the Trump stickers and they see your decal, and they're like, well, what are they listening to?
That's correct.
Maybe they'll listen.
I like that. That's a good idea.
You know?
I'll talk to the radio station about it.
Definitely, I'll take a couple.
Okay. All right. Take care.
But,
Take care. All right. Appreciate the call. So I want to play the latest video from Savannah Guthrie. Okay, that's Savannah Guthrie. It sounds like she's talking directly to the abductor. Okay. You know, I've been following this case all weekend, and Friday night, Saturday, we thought we were going to get another. They detained 3 people, right? The guy at the Culvers, the guy and the mother at the house. They bring in the FBI, they bring in everything. They had a federal warrant, and then nothing. And then they had this, it is pouring down rain outside. That's awesome. That's awesome. We've been in such a drought. The sheriff is a clown. Then there was this story that they were teasing all day long in the news, that they found this glove that matches the glove from the video, and they sent it off for DNA testing, and the DNA result could come in at any moment. And all the news outlets yesterday had that tease, awaiting FBI DNA results. And I'm thinking, oh, well, okay. And then, I don't know, around 5 or so in the afternoon, I turn on News Nation, and the guy on News Nation, he's really good. I don't remember his last name, but his first name's Brian, like me. And he's very, very good on News Nation. And he interviews a guy who's he interviews a sergeant from the police union out in Tucson. And he said, don't get excited about the glove. He says, the homeless around here, a lot of them wear gloves like that. And it's a very common type of glove, which I don't know why. Is it because of all the cactus in the desert? I don't know. And it kind of did away with that. So I don't hold much into the DNA coming in from the glove. But I will tell you, this latest video from Savannah Guthrie is at least the second video, maybe the third, but certainly the second video that she's done without her siblings, without her sister or her brother. What's that about? Why isn't she no longer making videos with her siblings? And where is she? Is she still in Arizona? You know, I think Savannah Guthrie and her siblings have been acting very weird during this whole thing. You know, Savannah Guthrie is one of the most famous women in America before this even happened. Why is she not on TV constantly with law enforcement, employing people live to come forward with information to bring mom home. I don't get it. These random videos, now without her siblings, so I'm wondering if there's some disagreement inside the family, aren't getting it. They're just not getting it. Now, I know everybody in media will play the video, but she's a TV person and she's not using TV. What's that all about? She has incredible connections through her celebrity and NBC. Her husband is a major Democrat who's connected to the top Democrats. She can get any living president on the phone. She could get in 60 seconds, and that was before this happened. She has access to the top police people in our country, currently and past and retired. And she's got access to TV and with the contacts and her fame, and she's not using any of that. And it's really weird the way she's acting. Don't you guys agree? It's very weird. I'm not saying that she's involved, and I know there's things, people are going to conspiracies and all this stuff. I'm not going down that route, but I think now she's done multiple videos without her brother and sister, and she's not using all the resources at her disposal out there. She did send a text message, according to the idiot sheriff out there in Tucson, that clown, that she's got her own investigator, that she's not interested in working with him anymore. Okay, well, who's that guy and what's going on? It's a sad story. It really is. And I thought for sure we were going to get something big Saturday with those 3 people they detained with the raincoat around the car and everything, and they let everybody go. No arrest. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. Vanessa in Pensacola.
Hey, Vanessa. What's up?
Well, I was just thinking about that caller from Indiana. He's so wrong. Before I retired in Indiana, I voted since the second term of Ronald Reagan, and Indiana always required voter ID, and he was way wrong about how many states require it.
It's over 30. It's close to 40 states require. I don't have the exact number, but it's in the 30s. And it's over 30.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's over 35 states require ID to vote.
Right. Well, he didn't seem to know much for a guy that had a political science degree, supposedly.
Yeah, I don't buy that. You know the thing about. Oh yeah, go ahead. Finish. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. The blue state of Illinois moving into Indiana, they're trying to turn things purple, and
yeah,
that's just an example. So
listen, if I had my way, you would have to prove citizenship, and you'd have to have a certain net worth or yearly income to vote. The reason they used to have property owner requirements to vote is because the founding fathers knew that if everyone could vote, the have-nots would vote to redistribute the wealth of the haves to them, which they've done. But you can't get everything you want. You got to do things in steps. And state-issued voter ID as a requirement will stop the ballot dumps. And that's such a big victory. You can't stuff ballot boxes without the ID attached to the ballots.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And he mentioned poor people don't or can't get IDs. Well, how does he think they get on EBT or SNAP or any kind of benefit?
Or Medicaid or Social Security. All of those people have. Everybody has state-issued photo ID. The only people that would not have a valid ID are people that are so old, sick, and feeble in hospice care, and their ID expired, and they haven't been able to renew it. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, or somebody just lost their wallet or their pocketbook, maybe. Then you can go get another one anyway.
Yeah, exactly. This isn't the 1920s. It's the 2020s.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has it. It's such an absurdity, right? Such an absurdity. All right, appreciate the call. All right, you take care. It's been raining pretty hard and big boom, boom, boom. It just stopped again. If you've got a wet spot on your ceiling, you want to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing. Tom Laporta will never sell you a roof you do not need. So what does that mean? It means if you need just a simple repair, Tom Laporta will do it. That's right. No other roofer says that. Do you know he was voted best roofing company in Fort Lauderdale, Florida? Do you know how hard that is to achieve? You know how many roofing companies are in Fort Lauderdale, Florida? Fort Lauderdale, Florida is ground zero for hurricanes. That's why it's one of the points of the Bermuda Triangle. The secret of the Bermuda Triangle is hurricanes. And there are more roofers per capita in Fort Lauderdale, maybe than in every other city in the world. And Tom Laporta was voted best roofing company, where there's more roofers per capita than anywhere else. That's amazing. Tom Laporta covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. He works with every type of roofing material and every type of structure, whether it's residential, commercial, even municipal. And he can handle the job of any size, whether it's one office building, one apartment building, one single-family home, or an HOA that has over 450 units. He can do it. Give Tom Laporta a call. This number rings directly to his cell phone. So you can call or text 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. That's 954-604-4602. And online, laportaroofing.com. All right, callers on hold, stand by. We have less than a minute until we break, so I'm not going to go to the phones until we get back from the break. But it is President's Day. We are here live. And this is a day to celebrate the president. And if you would like to share your appreciation of the president, you're welcome to call in. The number's toll-free no matter where you're listening. 888-465-2631. That's 888-465-2631. You know, the state-issued voter ID, the SAVE Act, is maybe the most important legislation the president has ever signed, because overturning Roe v. Wade, which is his greatest accomplishment, was done through the Supreme Court appointments. But the SAVE Act will save this country, not just in this midterm, but forever and ever. It's such a great accomplishment that's happened. So we'll continue to talk about that and take your calls on this President's Day. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian. We'll take our break for the top of the hour and be right back. Oh, we're getting ready to come back. I don't have enough time to finish that, so we'll have to finish that next break. All right, we got about 25 seconds. If you're on hold, stand by. The 7 o'clock hour has begun. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Welcome, everyone. It is President's Day, and, of course, we are celebrating our favorite president, the President of the United States, the 45th and 47th President, Donald Trump, who's done so much. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug. What's up?
You know, on this President's Day, bad enough that nobody can give President Trump any credit, but then you hear Hillary, I guess we should call her Karen Clinton, the she-devil herself in Europe, talking to government people, saying how much she can't stand President Trump. That so bad that a government person comes over and says and starts defending President Trump. You know, everybody. I don't know why the media even puts these things out, but they should be all praising President Trump. You know, you don't like President Trump, but at least you just say he's doing what he thinks is best. But we think we have a different idea. Not this negative hatred, man, that comes out. It's really so sickening.
It is.
Sickening,
it is.
Sickening.
It is.
Yeah.
And, you know, what I was talking about in the first hour, and, you know, you hear from Richie and some of these others, the SAVE Act, requiring ID to vote. You know, you see the Democrats on television, Schumer and the rest, they are in a state of hysterics over this. They're in such a panic over it. So if it's so bad, why are the Democrats in such a meltdown over it?
Really, I mean, what is wrong with having voter ID? You need ID for everything. The country, supposedly from all the polls, are saying everybody wants voter ID.
Go to the library and try to get a library card without an ID. Good luck.
There you go.
And that's where all the homeless people hang out at, by the way.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
If you go to the library. I go to the library sometimes, absolutely. All right, Doug, I appreciate the call. Take care. Happy President's Day. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Doc from Texas.
Hey, Doc.
Hey, man. Happy Mardi Gras to you, dog. Happy Mardi Gras.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that supposed to be a joke?
I want to let you... No, it's Mardi Gras time down here, brother.
Down here? I thought you were in Texas.
Up here.
You're in New Orleans now? I thought you were in Texas.
Up here in Texas.
I thought Mardi Gras was in New Orleans.
Mardi Gras... You celebrate Mardi Gras.
Why don't you just stick to the truth? I mean, I don't know why you know, one of these cosplay callers. All right, anyway, happy Mardi Gras.
Brian, let me finish. Let me finish. They celebrate Mardi Gras from Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and part of Texas. Part of Texas I'm in.
I've never heard that in my life. Is anybody else? Whatever.
Okay, whatever. I just want to tell you that. And happy Mardi Gras. Then too. Did you see one of the greatest presidents we ever had on TV yesterday? Him and his wife, the most beautiful woman, Michelle Obama. Did you see him yesterday on TV getting a standing ovation at the All-Star game yesterday? How wonderful that was.
Come on. You don't even believe that.
How wonderful that was. That was
what was
so
wonderful? What was
Brian.
wonderful? I saw them. They looked like they couldn't stand each other. You don't even believe
you
that.
Crazy as
listen,
hell. You
listen,
crazy
hold on,
as hell.
hold on
You
a
crazy
second.
as hell.
Hold on a second.
You crazy
I
as hell.
understand that you're a fan of the Obamas, but do you actually believe that Michelle Obama is the most beautiful first lady ever?
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Maybe if you're comparing her to Barbara Bush when she was first lady.
Yes, she is. She is so beautiful. She is so beautiful.
Really? She's better looking. Beautiful. She's better looking than international supermodel Melania Trump. Really?
She's better. They both look good, Brian. They both look good.
No. You said the most beautiful. You believe that Michelle Obama is more beautiful than international supermodel Melania Trump?
Yes, I do. You want to admit it? Yes, I do.
How can you think that?
I think it. How can you think about Melania? That's what her name is. How can you think about her?
She's an
Obama is
international,
a beautiful woman.
Before she met the president, she was an international supermodel.
Okay, fine, good. She had a career. So did Michelle Obama did. She had a career too.
Not as a model.
She was a lawyer. She was a lawyer too. They both had.
Really, she was a lawyer. Really, what kind of law did she practice? What cases did she have?
What cases? What did Melania was a model. Okay, she was a model. They both had wonderful careers, Brian. And to stop it at, leave it at that. Leave it at that. All I'm saying is they both, Barack and Michelle were both beautiful people. And he was a damn good president.
What's the greatest accomplishment?
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear.
What is the greatest accomplishment of President Obama during his 8 years?
I'm finna make your day. I'm finna hang up on you like you do me.
No, I'm gonna hang up on you. He can't think of a thing he's done. Greatest president, but he can't think of anything. Did you guys catch it? He slipped and told it. He said he's in New Orleans. He usually says he's in Texas. Now they celebrate Mardi Gras in in Texas. If you're on hold, stand by. Okay, I want to talk about a couple things. And then after the next break, I'll get into Marco Rubio a little bit because he did an incredible job in Germany over the weekend. Pam Bondi announced that they have released all of the Epstein files. And of course, that's the law. President Trump signed the bill passed by the Republican Congress into law, requiring all of the Epstein files that the federal government is in possession of to be released. And now they've released them all. In fact, on the last group that they released, there were 300 names on there, which included the Trumps and even J.D. Vance. That's it. There are no more files in the possession of the federal government to be released. It's all out there. Now, of course, we're still going to hear from people on the left who make all these claims. First, I want to talk about Nancy Mace. Okay, Nancy Mace went after Pam Bondi immediately and said, "This isn't going away." Nancy Mace goes off in scathing social media threat, rejects Pam Bondi's claim that all Epstein files have been released. It is federal law that all Epstein files and documents in the possession of the United States federal government be released, and they have been. Now, there are still records that judges have sealed in their courtrooms, but that's not the federal government. Those are even if it's a federal judge, it's that judge who has sealed them. They cannot release the sealed records that individual judges around the country have, but there are no longer any Epstein files in the possession of the federal government that have not been released. That's it. And Nancy Mace, Nancy Mace is a pervert, okay? I'm here to tell you. And I'm going to give you two examples of that. Remember when she tried to press her boobs up against the president in the House? Remember that? And President Trump didn't let her do it? That's number one. But Nancy Mace, this clip, this is a year or two ago. She was speaking to a women's prayer group, and she was talking about having sex with her then boyfriend. Okay, this was about 1 or 2 years ago. Now keep in mind, she's speaking to a female prayer group, Nancy Mace. She's talking about having sex after the prayer breakfast speech with her then boyfriend, who she may have gone on to marry because she said fiance then. Who talks about sex in hotel rooms who's a member of Congress and public in general, but to a prayer group? She's so perverted she couldn't contain herself. Oh my goodness! Isn't that? So when I say Nancy Mace is a pervert, those two examples I gave, I think back that up pretty strongly. And then we have Marjorie Trader Green. Now keep in mind, all the Epstein files have now been released by the federal government. There are no more. But Marjorie Trader Green, she posted on X over the weekend, all of you MAGA influencers and the rest mocking the seriousness of women who were trafficked and raped as teenagers and young women look like cult fools. Good luck trying to get the women to vote for Republicans in the midterms, you insensitive clowns. And she goes on a little bit more. I don't think they realized President Trump would sign that bill into law and release everything, right? And then we have Massey, who's trying to get a rebranding of the MAGA movement going. Okay, so he's trying to get this Epstein administration going. And they got into this thing of be careful what you wish for, and it's all out there now. So I'm going to make an announcement about Epstein, okay? Now, this is, I can't speak for Steve, but I think Steve will agree. Everything's now out. In lieu of any new and breaking news in the future, I am not going to talk about Epstein or engage in discussions about Epstein. I'm not saying that things should not be taken care of with women who are victims. Of course, I support victims of anyone's crimes. But that's not what this is not a true crime program. And this isn't cold case files either. So in absence of any new and developing stories moving forward on Epstein, I'm not going to discuss it. If you call me about it, the call will be, I'm not going to discuss it with you. We'll disconnect the calls. This is just a slander that they're trying to brand President Trump with. And I'm not going to participate in that. President Trump ran on the promise of releasing the files. He signed the bill into law, making it federal law to release all documents. And now they have been released. Okay? So far as the victims and everything, that is out of Trump's hands right now. That's in another area to handle. So I am not going to discuss it in the future, and anyone, when you bring it up to me, I will not discuss it. And if you won't move on, we'll end the call. This is not going to be a place where we do Massey's bidding moving forward. All right? Now, I want to remind you guys, this will end without notice, the free shipping offer at mypillow.com. You know, the mega sale is going on at mypillow.com, and there's huge savings with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And right now, it's free shipping on every order during the mega sale with our promo code Kane at checkout, no matter how large or small that order is. So go to mypillow.com, use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, for huge savings. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane, Kane. And this free shipping offer will end without notice. We'll be right back after this. Okay, guys, we have about 30 seconds, so stand by. Just looking for a particular clip. Okay, if you're on hold, stand by. 10 seconds. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Callers on hold, stand by. I want to first tell you about this incredible offer from Slomin's. You know, the Slomin's home security system that is free, with free professional installation and 24/7 central station monitoring. You can get all that for just $24.95 a month for 5 years. It's incredible. All you have to do is call right now, 833-283-5050, 833-283-5050. And you know, with this Nancy Guthrie story in the news, you can see without that 24/7 central station monitoring, how this, you know, which is included in this offer from Slomin's, how you really need that, right? That's right. You get a free home security system and professional installation absolutely free. Your Slomin's home security system includes a touchscreen keypad, 3-door window sensors, a motion detector, notification, and remote keypad access from anywhere. Give them a call no matter where you are. 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, yes, this is Jason from Spokane.
Mm-hmm.
So the title of your video from 2 days ago is Trump will win the midterms.
Correct.
And you and I have spoken a few times about the midterms and how I'm skeptical as to our success in that regard. And I mean our, because I am on your side, even though I disagree with you. You may not believe that, but we'll leave that to what it is. What's important to me is that, do you think that if we lose the midterms, since you've made this prediction, after what's gone on in Minnesota and with Pam Bondi's recent appearance in front of the House and the entire Epstein Files debacle in general, do you believe that if you are wrong, that hurts your credibility at all?
No, because what I said was this. We will win. I said that with a condition, which you've left off of what I said.
Okay.
We will win the midterms if we have a large voter turnout and swamp them at the polls like we did during the presidential election. If we don't have a massive turnout, we will lose.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not just waving a wand and saying we're going to win no matter what. I said we will win if we swamp them at the polls and have a massive turnout. If we don't, we'll lose.
Well, yes. The problem is that Trump's victory against Kamala in 2024 was not a very large turnout.
He won every battleground state. He won the popular. He won the popular vote.
He won the popular vote, but the total amount of votes was not very high.
Whatever. I don't care. We still won.
Right, but we're talking about voter turnout here. So I'm talking about voter turnout.
Well, like I said, if we have if we swamp them at the polls and have a huge voter turnout of conservatives, of MAGA, we will win. If not, we'll lose. I mean, are you so desperate to catch me on something? You're planning a year out to say you were wrong. Listen, I'm on the air. I am on the air. Excuse me. I'm on the air 7 days a week, and for decades and decades. So you know, I can't control the future, and you know, so far as elections, we'll win some and we'll lose some. That's the way it works. We don't have a dictatorship and one-party rule in this country. I mean, do you not agree with me that if the MAGA voters swamp the polls like it's a presidential election year, Trump will win, right?
Not necessarily.
Oh my goodness.
And
okay.
The reason behind that is because voter turnout on both sides is extremely low, and even if we get a higher percentage than they do, that doesn't necessarily guarantee.
Are you typing while you're talking? I hear keys. I hear typing like on a keyboard.
Well, I talk to people in your chat sometimes.
You're talking in the chat right now while you're talking to me. You're chatting and talking. What's the last thing you typed?
Sure.
What is the last thing you just typed? What'd you write?
Good morning was the last thing that I typed.
As you were just talking to me just now, you just typed good morning. Okay.
Regardless, Brian, I am on your side here. I want to ascertain your logic as to why you think we're going to win the midterm.
I tell you, okay. Another example, I gotta get out the fat pencils and the crayons, okay? MAGA voters, okay, are Trump voters. MAGA voters are going to vote in the midterm elections for members of Congress that President Trump endorses throughout the country. If the majority of MAGA voters turn out and we have more MAGA voters, Trump supporters, turn out to vote, we will win the midterms. If we don't, we'll lose the midterms. How hard is that for you to understand?
Because Trump is not winning with independents right now.
That's not, if you look at all the polls that have been coming out, as an example with the SAVE Act, the voter ID, we have over 70% of the black vote and over 80% of the Hispanic vote in favor of voter ID. That is a major Trump MAGA Republican position. And so I'm sorry to tell you.
I don't see that in the aggregate.
What's that?
I don't see that in the aggregate. I don't see it bearing out in the aggregate.
The aggregate? All right, I'm going to move on. I can't go around in circles too much longer. I'm getting a headache. Appreciate the call. Oh, my goodness. Does that sound like a guy who's on our side? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Vancouver, British Columbia, and I would like to say it's the peace president. And have you ever heard of Art Bell?
Of course, who's long dead, Art Bell.
Well, I listened to him a long time ago. Really enjoyed the late night television radio that he had on, and he had on a lot of conspiracies.
Yes.
And I would like your opinion on this realm not being round but flat, and it's not stationary, and that the North Star is...
Okay, I want to tell you this, about Art Bell, okay? And I remember when he was on the radio, okay? He was a fraud. He didn't believe that stuff that he did on his show. That doesn't mean he didn't believe that there may be life elsewhere, but I'll give you an example of it, okay? He got a call... And Steve and I, we were always on in the mornings, and Art Bell was on overnights, and he went off the air as we came on. Yeah, he was
always on at night. I always listened to him late at night when I picked up my wife from...
So he was on the air on our radio station before we went live, and this was a very famous call that Art Bell got. He got a call. He was always talking about Area 51. Area 51 was big back then because Independence Day had been out and all that stuff. And he got a call from this guy who was obviously in his bathroom. And this is by the sound of the call, he claimed to be in his own private plane. He was on the phone with Art Bell. This is a very famous call to Art Bell. I'm sure you can find this online. You may even be familiar with it. He said, Art, it's our place. It's our base. We got a right to know what's there. And he was flying his private plane into Area 51 over it, live on the air, on the phone with Art Bell. And Art Bell's following him every step. I heard this call live when it happened. It was right before Steve and I went on the air, and we talked about it on the show that day. And that idiot program director was so ticked off at us for bringing this up. And then, do you remember? Are you familiar with this call?
No, actually, I don't know anything about it.
The guy's on the phone. And I'm flying, I'm coming in. All right, I'm approaching Area 50. And Art Bell's on the phone, and all right, whatever his name was, come on. And I just crossed it. I'm over Area 51, Art. We're going to see what's down here. And uh-oh, 2 fighter jets have just come in. They're firing at me, Art Bell. And the line went dead. He got shot down. And the line went dead.
About ETs and stuff?
And
was it about ETs?
And it was over, and Art Bell continued with that conversation like it was so true. And you could tell the guy was in his bathroom, and the sound of the engine was probably a stationary fan. And I knew right then and there, I don't believe in any of that, aliens coming to the earth or Bigfoot or any of that garbage. But I knew right then that Art Bell didn't even believe that stuff, okay? Because he pretended that this guy really was from Area 51. So, so that's my response about Art Bell.
Okay, well, I'm just sort of saying he had an awful lot of interesting characters that were on that show,
Yes.
and it turned me into a late night radio guy, and I really love it.
Well, that's good. No, I love radio too.
I really enjoy listening to your show.
I love radio too, but I don't like people who lie to their audience. Okay, and
listen, I totally 100%. That's why I listen to you, my friend.
Yeah.
But here's what I have to say about Art Bell. Whether there's a lot of times where he got really empathetic with the guest that was on, and probably he stretched it an awful lot, and I'm sure he did. But there's sometimes where there's actual very, very interesting stuff that he did talk about.
It's not open phone. It's not open phones. Listen, open phones is on Friday. The rest of the week you got to talk about what we're talking about. So I'm going to let you go, but no, I don't like. I love radio, guys. Believe me, I love radio. I listened to radio long before I was in it as a kid, and I love radio. But I love you guys in the audience, and I don't like people who lie to their audience. Now, there's a difference between lying and being mistaken about things, by the way. But when I heard that, any of you remember that Area 51 call? It's one of the most famous calls to the late Art Bell. And when he was involved in that conversation as if it was real, even, I thought he doesn't believe any of it, right? And he's lying to his audience, pretending he believes in things that he knows are not true. All right, we'll break and be back. Is there anybody in the audience that remembers that call to the Art Bell show that I'm talking about? Anyone? I remember that like it was yesterday. Yeah, Steve and I did, when we heard that, both of us, it was so funny because the show was on before us, and it used to end like I don't remember, at 5:30, 5:45, some odd time, and we came on after. And we talked about that call, and we were on 940 Wins in Miami, and we had this no talent who couldn't make it on the air, and he became the program director. And Steve and I talked about that call on the air and took calls on it, and everyone's like, I can't believe what a fraud he is. I mean, what a crank call that is. And, oh man, the program director was so angry at us for questioning the credibility of Art Bell, and I'm sure that call is online. Now, I've not listened to that call in many, many years, maybe once since it happened originally, and that was years and years ago. But if you go back and listen to it, I'm sure my recollection is pretty close to what it was. Yeah. No, I don't, it's one thing to do a radio drama. It's another thing to lie to your audience. And that's, and I thought he believed in all. I used to believe that aliens were coming to the earth in Area 51 and stuff when I was a little boy, a child. But none of that's true. Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, none of it's true, guys. Remember, you used to talk about that cave. Oh, boy, oh boy. Okay, we'll see what time we'll be back. Okay. We'll be back in about 90 seconds. Somebody said they remember the call. Yeah, it's a famous Art Bell call. It's a very famous call to the Art Bell show. Gosh, we're halfway through the show already. Holy smokes. I'm going to get into Marco Rubio when we get back. We've got just over a minute, and if you're on hold, stand by. One minute, we'll be back. The show is flying by. It stopped raining. About 45 seconds, and we'll be back. There's a difference, by the way, in believing that there may be life elsewhere and that the alien life is visiting us. Those are two different things. I didn't say I don't believe. There's certainly a possibility of life elsewhere, but as far as it visiting us, no. Nope. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. Oh, man. All right. If you're on hold, hang in there. I want to talk about Marco Rubio at the Munich conference over the weekend. He did such a great job, didn't he? You know, his speech, he gave a 21-minute speech. And on my podcast yesterday, I went through the entire speech and analyzed it. So if you guys don't listen to my podcast, you should. It's on YouTube and on all podcast platforms. The Brian Craig Show, look it up. And it was, if it was the best speech I've ever heard a politician give other than Donald Trump. It was so good. Now, last year, J.D. Vance went to Munich, and he really ripped him good. But Marco Rubio, if Marco Rubio was still in the Senate, everyone would be saying he just announced he's running for president. It was such an incredible speech. I'm only going to play one clip of him, at least. Maybe I'll play another one later, but this is an important one. Yeah. Okay. It was a 21-minute speech. It was a perfect speech. And, you know, the biggest problem that we have in the MAGA movement is we have too many great people on the bench to be the second MAGA president after President Trump. And obviously, J.D. Vance is the favorite because he's vice president. And if he runs and gets the nomination, I'm going to support, advocate, campaign, and do everything I can to get J.D. Vance elected. However, if I had to choose between J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio, my pick would be Marco Rubio. And I will remind you that when someone gets the nomination because they're in line and owed it, those are times when we lose. You know, when people get that nomination because they're owed it or deserved it, they lose. You see this all the time. Vice President Walter Mondale, Hillary Clinton, John McCain, Bob Dole. These are, and there's other examples, but these are people, and I'm not comparing J.D. Vance, who's awesome, because I love J.D. Vance, to these, you know, people necessarily, but I'm talking about the concept. There a lot of times, and this happens in both parties, as with the examples I gave, people get the nomination because they're next in line and owed it. President Ford, who was never elected even as vice president, was president 18 months, and he was given the nomination because he was the sitting president, and he lost to Jimmy Carter. There was talk in the 1976 Republican Convention to nominate Ronald Reagan, who was very popular. There was serious talk among Republicans to nominate Ronald Reagan for president and President Ford as vice president. They didn't do that because he was the sitting president and he was owed it, right? You see this time and time again. And just because he's vice president doesn't mean he's the best pick. Marco Rubio, they're both great. We've got great people. We've got J.D. Vance. We've got Pete Hegseth. We've got Marco. We've got Kristi Noem. You know, Bessent. Oh, man, Scott Bessett's awesome, our Treasury Secretary. He could be the first openly gay president. We got great people. We've got too much good talent, and we only can pick one. But watching not just this speech that Marco Rubio gave in Munich over the weekend, which, by the way, was Europe loved it, and they're, you know, bringing him back into the fold. It's the other things that he's done. I personally believe that Marco Rubio is the greatest Secretary of State we have ever had. Look at what he's done to help us. He's right now he's the president of Venezuela, so to speak, but he's shut down almost all of the drugs coming in through his work in Latin America and his contacts there. I mean, he's doing great stuff. When have we had a Secretary of State do things to directly benefit the people of the United States? Never before. They're off helping Europe, and mostly what other Secretary of States are doing is working out deals so people can rip off the U.S. Treasury. And I love them both, and I'm going to support them both. But J.D. Vance could be vice president again. There are no term limits for vice president. J.D. Vance there's a term limit for president, not vice president. J.D. Vance could be Marco Rubio's vice president. Now, Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance are best friends. Marco Rubio said about a month or so ago that if J.D. runs, he won't run. But I'd like to ask your thoughts on this. If you had to pick, we love them both, right? I mean, we're making Sophie's choice here. We got to pick out of the two. I love them both. But if you could only pick one to be the top of the ticket, who would it be? Marco or JD? And my pick would be Marco over JD. That doesn't mean I'm not going to give it all for JD because I love him too. Now, I do have some bias. Marco Rubio is a Floridian. I'm here. I'm a Floridian. He's doing great stuff here in Florida. Ohio's important too. We need Ohio. Ohio and Florida are two very important states in a presidential election. And I'm not attacking JD, but Marco's just a little better, a little more experienced, and also, a little older. And so I'd like to ask you, who would you rather have, MAGA people, if you could choose one, JD or Marco? Now, Marco Rubio could stay on as Secretary of State with J.D. Vance, but I wouldn't. I just think Vice President is too much of a do-nothing job for Marco, in my view, and it's more than just the speech. His speech was spectacular, and J.D. is great, and he's got a lot of great qualities too. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But when you give someone the nomination just because they're next in line for it, we have a long history of losing that. I'm not saying we're going to lose in the future with JD, but they could run as running mates with JD as his vice president. Right? I mean, we could really use JD Vance to take over Turning Point USA, which he has a lot of great skills to do that. But, they'll decide, and and when I say we, I don't mean just me. I'm talking about MAGA world. We'll back and endorse whichever one. But I'd like to ask you all, if you had to choose or could choose between JD or Marco, who would you want to be the second MAGA president? And I say Marco Rubio, who I would rather be the second MAGA president. That's just me. But I think most MAGA people will agree with that. I mean, truly MAGA people will agree with that. Now, his speech that he gave was really an amazing speech, and what a lot of it was about firming up our alliance with Europe. And he went through it was a 20-minute speech about the shared culture and civilization that the United States and Europe have. And he went through a long list of things that show that the United States, that our civilization, our culture is European. Many, many examples. And one of them he talked about was cowboys. Did you hear this? In his speech, Marco Rubio said that we got cowboys from Spain, which is true. And AOC, who was humiliating herself in Munich all weekend, after Marco spoke about Spaniards giving us the cowboys, she had to show how dumb she is again. And she's here talking in Munich. Listen. What does that mean? Mexicans are of Spanish descent, stupid. I'm a congresswoman. That's what J.D. Vance was saying. Mexicans are of Spanish descent, just like you are. Ocasio-Cortez, descendant of Cortez, the conquistador. There were no horses in the New World. The Europeans brought horses here. So we wouldn't have had cowboys without horses, and the horses came from Europe. Oh my goodness. And what are the slaves' roles with cowboys? I miss that. What is she talking about? You know, I don't know what they're teaching people today, but they learn an alt history. They really do. I want to talk about Dr. Appleton and his robotic laser wave pain treatment. Here we are Monday. It's President's Day. And over the weekends, you might be more active. Did you clean out the garage? You go play pickleball? You go golfing? You got some tennis elbow? Your shoulder hurt? Your leg hurt? You got some pains? Your hips hurt? Stop living in pain. You don't have to. Go see Dr. Appleton. You know, it was laser wave pain treatment, which has rid me of pain 7 times. Sometimes from injuries, sometimes from growing old, like the arthritis he rid me of. I no longer suffer from arthritis pain, thanks to Dr. Appleton. With his laser wave pain treatment, there's no injections, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. My favorite part is it works. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome. If you have x-rays or scans, bring them with you. Dr. Appleton will gladly look at them for you. And the consultation is free. Take advantage of the no-charge consultation, which you need no appointment for. And let Dr. Appleton share with you how he can rid you of pain like he's done with me 7 times. His number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back. All right, we'll be back in less than a minute, guys. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll go to the phones when we get back. All right, just queuing up a thing or two for the next segment. Stand by. Let's see. "20 seconds, we'll be back." Show's flying by, just over an hour left. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show on this President's Day. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Rabbi David, how are you?
All right, Rabbi, what's on your mind?
Well, the question you're asking about JD or Marco, it's interesting. I've had this discussion so many times within the Jewish community, the MAGA Jewish community, and Marco is always the answer.
Really?
You know, but I can't see how JD would step away, you know, from running. I mean, it's just he's too close
JD
to
Vance
Patriot.
is really good, but there's he's a little young, and he just doesn't have the. This is a liberal term, maybe, but gravitas. You know, he needs a little more experience, a little more age to be equal to Marco.
I think the other word is likability. You know, I think Marco doesn't come across as aggressive or angry or he's got such a nice temperament. And I think the training that he's got as Secretary of State is beyond. He's gone to every country, every world leader, the relationships he's made, and he's really become such a statesman and a politician.
Yes.
You know, that he's very well respected, and I think by everybody. I mean, I don't see even those on the left like coming out against him like angrily. You know, they might disagree.
Now
with
again,
him.
we don't know
But
the
with
answer to
JD,
this. We don't know the answer to this for sure, but I would guess that in private, President Trump would rather have Marco over JD.
I agree. I think he's even hinted at it. He said they both have different temperament. You know, there was when he was on the plane, Air Force One, and they interviewed him about it, and he said something like, he didn't say who was who, but he said one is this and one is that, and I think he knows Marco is really in place to be the diplomat. Look, no one's going to be a Trump.
And another thing, too, everything you said, Rabbi David, is true. And also, we have more of a, we know Marco better. He has more of a record with us. JD is still kind of new to us. You understand what I mean? And he doesn't have the proven track record that Marco has.
Right. And they both, by the way, they both were against Trump at one time.
Yep.
And they both, you know, obviously when Marco ran against him, but JD did come out and called Trump Hitler at one time. And, you know, he's okay. He's walked it back.
Marco Rubio made the joke about the hand size and stuff in the first campaign. So
but that was because they were like seventh graders in a presidential race.
We've seen Marco Rubio grow up. We've known him since he was young.
Yeah. And I actually wish there would be a Republican primary and Marco would run against JD and he would win.
He said he won't do it.
I hope Marco doesn't. I hope he does.
And Rabbi, you know what I mean. You know what I mean about the history of candidates that get the nomination because they're next in line. Yeah. We always lose those. Both parties.
Yeah. No, that's a very good analysis because look, politics is also always a variable, but sometimes there are constants, and that is a constant.
Yep.
That if you're just next in line, it's like, okay, and he's the vice president, now I'll be president. People don't want to even vote for that. People don't like that.
That's right.
It takes a lot for people to get out to vote. It takes a lot for people to go, to the polls and to get behind somebody. They have to be very strong.
Even Lyndon Johnson. Lyndon Johnson didn't run for re-election in '68. He was entitled to know the nomination, but he knew he would lose, and he wanted to go out a winner, so he didn't run for re-election. You know, I mean, I can't go back much further than that because you got to stick to the modern era because things are different. But I don't know of a single instance when somebody was given it because they were owed it that they won. The closest may be H.W. Bush would be the closest. He was vice president, but but he had a long track record of experience and was more known than JD. It was a difference.
You know what Marco has also? A lot of the things that people who love Trump, I love Trump, everything he does, everything he says, but a lot of people would say, I love Trump, but, I don't like the way he talks, the way he presents things. Okay, I get it, fine, that's their excuse. Marco would be Trump, but with the presentation and with a nicer presentation for those people. Mm-hmm. And I think he brings that to the table. JD is still a little coarse and rough around the edges, but doesn't have the gravitas of Trump. Yeah. So Marco is the better candidate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that doesn't mean that we don't love JD and we're not going to vote for him and support him and advocate for him. Right. But if we had to pick, it'd be Marco. for all the reasons that you said.
I hope he goes to turning. I hope he goes to turning point, like you said. That would make him feel good about doing something, because that'll be constant. It's not just 4 years.
He could save Turning
Point. It'll
Point.
be something really big.
Turning Point USA
really
is not going
to
to survive in its current state. They're in big trouble. I know that Super Bowl thing helped a little bit, but they have too many people like Candace Owens and other weirdos that are out to destroy it.
I think JD stays here.
Rabbi, I got a bad connection with you, so I gotta let you go. Your phone's breaking up. But call again. You're always good. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Lisa in Boca.
Hey, Lisa.
Good morning. A couple of thoughts on J.D. Vance that to me are concerning. Judging his friends, Tucker calls him, and his son Buckley calls him, works for J.D. Vance.
That's right.
Vivek Ramaswamy is very close to him, and they both are for these tech migrations into our country.
Okay, now let me slow down, because I want people to understand. What you said's true, but the first part I don't think people may have heard. Tucker Carlson, who is just a basket case these days, his son works for J.D. Vance. And I don't care what anyone says, Vivek Ramaswamy was kicked out of the White House. They didn't want him around the White House. That's why he's running for governor in Ohio. So yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you have to also know his sphere of influence. He became a newfound Christian. He hasn't always been. He's close to Elon, who is also for tech migration and has plenty of money. Mm-hmm. I did listen to the Munich speech. I found him to have a respect of history. I found his tone to be special. His judgment of the freedom leaders, his political leaders.
Oh, and if you go back and watch that, speech, did I lose you? No, hold on. I'm sorry. I got the line. Okay, did I lose you there? You still with us?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Kid.
Yeah, Mark. If you go back and watch that speech, he was speaking to the European leaders, and it was really about they were eaten out right out of his hand. He brought Europe back on our side.
Yes, and he did it with a length of duration of being able to hold their attention. Mm-hmm. I appreciated it. I think that JD will moderate his reason for being to more of what the wind is. I do think, and I'm just saying we need somebody, his right-hand man, but I do think he's more of a locker room jock. And I think that Marco is grounded. He's grounded with his wife and kids for a while and seasoned. I think that it makes for somebody who has. I just like his style. I won't keep.
Well, he's grown. You know, Marco Rubio has. We've watched him grow up. Remember when he gave that response to the Obama State of the Union, and he had the water. He had to drink the water. It was disastrous. You know, and we've seen him grow up and come along, and he's great.
But he wasn't handpicked for a special college. He went through all the right pieces along the way, where you could tell who he is along the way. Yeah. He is the tree that's grown into a more mature tree, and I really think that J.D. Vance is grafted tree. I think he's a little of this and a little of that. It's just I'm glad I had an opportunity to share my thoughts.
All right, well, I appreciate the call. Take care. All right. Okay. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. How you doing?
All right.
This is Maria from Tamarack.
All right, Maria.
Hey, how you doing? So I was listening this morning to everyone on your show, that Calling Your Radio Show, and I honestly can say even the one that I know, the one from Texas is kind of crazy. I don't mean to call him that, but he's kind of cuckoo.
Yes. Yeah.
Because he was trying to say what he was trying to say, because I've seen it too. I don't watch NBA like that. I used to. I'm a fan of sports, but I don't hardly watch it like that too much. You know, not since I really realized that, you know, when you go and support a politician, as Donald Trump is not President Trump is not a politician. He is a man with common sense, a billionaire, a billionaire that knows how to run a business. That's why I supported him. I didn't support him because he such a kind of white guy. I support him because he's a man that stands on principle. He stands on truth, and he doesn't lie about anything like that.
That's right. Well, listen, I appreciate the call. I got to run, but we're up against a break. But
okay.
I agree with everything you said. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. And it is President's Day, and of course, President's Day is a day that we celebrate our favorite president, our greatest president, Donald Trump. You're welcome to call in at 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call, no matter where you're listening. 888-465-2631. I want to talk about coastal weight loss secret. You know, I thought losing weight and keeping it off was impossible. I really did. I thought I was going to have to starve myself, work out all the time, eat foods that I didn't like, and just suffer and to lose weight. And I never thought I would lose my stomach, which is totally flat now, like it was almost 30 years ago. And not only did I accomplish all those things, but I've kept the weight off. And of course, I'm talking about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. You know, with Dr. Zuckerman over at Coastal Weight Loss Secret, losing weight is simple. I lost about 1 pound a day. And you can too. There's no pills, no injections, no surgery. I didn't work out at all. And I didn't starve myself either. Give Coastal Weight Loss Secret a call. They can help you no matter where you are located. And schedule your no-charge consultation. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. That's 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlosssecret.com. All right, we'll go back to the phones after our top of the hour break, all right? And we've covered quite a bit. You're welcome to call in about anything we've brought up so far, although I'm going to get into some other topics after the top of the hour. And you also can call in to share your thoughts on this President's Day, President Trump's Day, your thoughts on President Trump. And, of course, it's a great day to let people know how much you appreciate him. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. I'm Brian Craig. We'll take our break for the top and be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, we'll be back in less than a minute. If you're on hold, stand by. I'll go back to the phones on this President's Day. Okay, hold on. Okay, about 20 seconds. If you're on hold, stand by. The 8 o'clock hour has begun. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, hi.
Yes.
Yes, today is President's Day, and I want to celebrate the best president, the most educated, the most swaggy, the best president we ever had in the whole world of the United States, who lives rent-free in Trump's head, which is Obama.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm
so
glad you called.
We ever had.
I'm so glad you called. I really am. Barack Obama was president 8 years. Can you tell me his greatest accomplishment in those 8 years?
Everything that he touched was great.
Everything he touched?
Every time he opened his mouth was great.
Well, give me an example of the greatest, as an example, President Trump overturned...
United people. United people in the most beautiful way.
President Trump, excuse me. President Trump overturned Roe v. Wade. Give me an example of something Obama accomplished.
A warless country.
What did Obama accomplish?
Health care. He made sure people had health care. He cared about
I lost my health insurance under Barack Obama. I'm sorry, I lost my health insurance.
He wasn't a rapist, a pedophile. He was never none of that. You would never find him in the Epstein file. He was.
Yeah. What about his dead chef?
Beautiful.
What about his dead chef?
So swaggy.
All right. Oh my goodness. Okay. She can't stop talking. She's getting nervous because she didn't realize, well, wait a minute, Obama doesn't have any qualifications. Obama doesn't have any accomplishments. Oh, my goodness. With Donald Trump, we can point to a lot of accomplishments. We do it every day, so I'm not going to go through a list now. But you know what he's done, right? And that is the second person who's called today, Doc from Texas, and now that lady, who called and said Obama's the greatest president. And I said, give me an example of something he accomplished. And then, boom, they just don't want to stop talking, right? They can't think of anything. And then they realize, well, wait a minute, he hasn't done anything. February is American Heart and National Cancer Prevention Month. That's right. Of course, I'm talking about Life Imaging FLA. Early detection helps you live longer and see life's most precious moments. Your heart and your health do matter because they, your family, are counting on you. Prevention today means memories tomorrow. Don't miss those moments that haven't happened yet. A simple scan today can mean a lifetime of tomorrows. I want you to call Life Imaging FLA. They have locations in Broward, Palm Beach, and Dade County. I've had the scans myself. It gave me great peace of mind. From your cell phone, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. That's pound 250. Just say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. Call for that free heart scan now with a few minimum requirements valued at $699. Again, that's pound 250 and say free heart scan. That's pound 250. Just say free heart scan and you will be connected in seconds. All right, let's go. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, you saying this is President's Day. I want to give thanks for the best president in the world, which is Obama. You bigots never like the truth. That's why you hang up all the time. You guys hate the truth. Trump is horrible.
All right, give us Obama's greatest accomplishment. Give us Obama's greatest accomplishment. Hello? Give us, give us Obama's greatest accomplishment.
He cares only about the foreigner that's outside of
I got to put you on hold. Another one won't stop talking. Please give us the greatest accomplishment of President Obama.
He's a bigot. He's a racist.
All right. Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. You can't talk to these Democrats. They won't stop talking. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hey, Brian. Mike in Coral Springs.
Hey, Mike.
Good morning. Listen, well, two things. I can't stand these people that overtalk you, man. They just keep running at the mouth and won't let you say something, especially that dunce that you just had on that couldn't give a good example of what Obama did that was worth anything. All right? Aside from that, why do people refuse to say that Obama was not our first black president? He was our first mixed race, biracial president.
No. In our society, you're considered black when you're biracial. No, he's the first black president.
Well, no, but he's not.
He is.
No, he's not. His mother was white.
His father's black. He's biracial. He's viewed as a black person.
Okay, well, I take umbrage at that.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
The guy's biracial, no matter what people
Well,
want to say.
both are true. Both are true. He's biracial,
Okay,
but he's viewed as black.
I got you. I got nothing more for you.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. And I know a lot. I don't know. I don't know what the when people say, well, he's not the first black. Okay. Now I want to get back. If you're on hold, stand by. I was talking about the voter ID, the SAVE Act. And of course, there's all these panicans out there who want to tell you, oh, they took off the citizenship requirement, and let me play you Chuck Schumer. Okay, this is Chuck Schumer on CNN over the weekend with Jake Tapper, who I guess has come back from Arizona because that's going nowhere. Jim Crow 2.0. Okay, so here then, Chuck Schumer, are you black? He doesn't think you have ID. Jim Crow 2.0. If black people aren't going to be able to vote with this, why is it that 74% of blacks agree with voter ID? So those of you out there that are panicans, who think that this deal that President Trump made with Susan Collins is such a bad thing and it's all over, why is Schumer saying stupid things like this? All weekend long, I was hearing these Democrats like Schumer and others, and a lot of them are pundits on different shows over the weekend, talking about, they're trying to get this talking point going, Jim Crow 2.0. And they keep asking them what Jake Tapper asked Schumer. Well, wait a minute. The majority of Democrats, and then they go through the breakdown, 74% of blacks believe ID should be required. Over 80% of Hispanics believe ID should be required to vote. Why are you going against your own party here? And then they talk about Jim Crow 2.0. They don't really get into that. The reason they're going against their own party is because they know that with state-issued voter ID, they're done. They're done. They know it. They know it. Everyone has ID. Okay? Everyone has ID. And I got news for you, Chuck Schumer. Black people have state-issued photo ID. Most everybody has a driver's license. But even if you don't have a driver's license, you got a state-issued voter ID if you're legally eligible to vote. And poor people have it. The poorest of the poor that are on public assistance, you cannot get on public assistance without state-issued photo ID. If you could, you wouldn't need any ID, and you would just go to every public assistance office in the country, and you'd have millions of dollars coming to you in government assistance every month. You can't get a bank account to get your government benefits that are automatically deposited to you without an ID. So, these talking points, with the Jim Crow 2.0, this is a very old talking point that they have. See, I was talking about this last week when the poll came out on the black support. Over 70%, it was 74% of blacks support the requirement of ID to vote. That is a complete reversal from the last time this happened, that this was being discussed, which was about 10 to 15 years ago. It was reversed. The majority of blacks were against it. Now the majority are for it. And there's been a major wake-up call for this. And yeah, citizenship requirement would be great, but you can't get that through. But having to tie a state-issued ID to every ballot will stop the ballot boxing drops of stuffing of boxes. You can't pull up in semi-trucks filled with ballots that don't have an ID connected to them. And that's why the Democrats are in such a panic. Coastal Weight Loss Secret, we've got our cruise coming up in just over a month. And I went over to Coastal Weight Loss Secret last year because we had the cruise coming up. And it was earlier in March last year. It was at the beginning of March. And I wanted to lose 25 pounds before the cruise. And Dr. Zuckerman over at Coastal Weight Loss Secret said, okay, 25 pounds, you can lose that. When's the cruise? I said, it's in a month, Doc. He says, no problem. I said 25 pounds. He said, no problem. I said, okay. And sure enough, not only was Dr. Zuckerman right, I lost 25 pounds in 3 weeks, a week before the cruise. Isn't that something? That's amazing. I've lost over 35 pounds in total, and I've kept it all off. Now, if you want to lose 135 pounds, 25 pounds, 450 pounds, more, less, anywhere in between, call Coastal Weight Loss Secret. It works, guys. Call. They can help you lose weight no matter where you're located. Call right now and schedule your no-charge consultation. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. That's 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. We'll be right back. Okay, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, we got about 35 seconds. Hold on.
Sounds good.
All right. All right, stand by. 10 seconds.
We calm them down.
All right, we're back. It's President's Day. I'm Brian. Steve is here. Hey, Steve.
Good morning. How are you? I have a question.
Okay.
I was watching television the whole weekend with everything going on. I'm going nuts here, trying to figure everything out. The scandal in Mississippi, in Minnesota, that I was watching over the weekend. If we lose the House, that whole investigation's down the drain. Is that correct?
If we lose the Congress, we'll have a Great Depression. The economy of the world will collapse.
You're putting me on, right?
No.
If we lose the House?
If we lose the House, they're gonna impeach President Trump every Friday.
So my understanding is correct then, that the whole investigation goes down the drain.
The investigation
gets away with everything.
The whole world goes down the drain. It's over. If we lose the House, everything's over. Everything. President Trump will be impeached every Friday. The government will be shut down for 2 years. Yeah.
Well, they're not going to take it to the Senate, I don't think. I mean,
but the impeachment happens in the House, and the House controls the money. Yeah, so it's all over.
I'm a little. I'd like to get some feedback from the audience on it. That doesn't sound right. That sounds worse than I thought.
What investigation are you talking about? I'm not sure which one in Minnesota. What's that?
Well, I'm talking about the House investigation into the fraud.
Oh, you're talking about the Somali pirates in Minnesota?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be over too, because the Democrats would control the committees if they had the majority. Yeah, that would all be over.
Holy Christopher!
They'd
get away with it all.
Yeah. Yes. And by the way, not only would they impeach Trump every Friday, the other 4 days of the week, they would impeach cabinet members like Kristi Noem. They can be impeached too, you know. So it'll be just constant impeachments every day of the week for 2 years. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Holy Christopher Columbus.
But we're not going to lose the midterms.
Well, I was impressed with what went on over the weekend. It looks like Trump is back on track. Mm-hmm. But everything is so volatile that you can't count on anything for sure.
Well, if we get the President Trump said, if we get the voter ID passed, President Trump said it will be in effect for the midterms.
It'll be so then it won't happen.
We would win, yeah. If there's voter ID, if we got the voter ID in, we will win.
Well, we won that, didn't we?
No, it hasn't been. No, it passed the House. It's in the Senate. There's been no vote, and we've got 51 votes because of Susan Collins, but it's up to Thune, the majority leader, to decide if he's going to do away with the filibuster or not.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. So, and hopefully he does the right thing.
Well, it's a mess.
Nah, I saw Trump. He didn't seem worried.
No, he never seems worried. He's got more guts than I do. That's for sure.
Well, if Trump's not worried,
that's why he's the president.
If Trump's not worried, you don't need to be worried. He's got. If we lose the House, they're going to put him in prison.
No, I don't see that happening.
Oh yeah, they're gonna. It'll be nonstop. Oh my goodness, it'll be a mess. It'll be a mess.
I mean, don't forget. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's the House can't impeach him. The House can only bring him up for trial.
The impeachments come from the House, and then the House has the trials.
No, the Senate has the trial is in the Senate.
The impeachment, the trial's in the Senate. The House does the impeachment. They vote to an impeachment is like an indictment. It's like the House is a grand jury, right? So an impeachment is an indictment. The trials are in the Senate. He's not going to be convicted or anything, but he's going to get impeached. It's going to be nonstop investigations of Trump, of Pete Hegseth, of Kristi Noem, of Tom Homan, of ICE agents, and he'll be impeached at least once a week. Yes. That'll be the whole 2 years. Mm-hmm.
Boy, oh boy.
Yes.
This election is really something.
It is.
When it comes to importance.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's important.
No wonder Trump is being so careful with that. It's what seems like a no-brainer, the invasion of Iran.
By the way, have you checked your passport to make sure it's valid for the cruise next month?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Is my producer here?
Yeah, just make sure.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
You can't get on the ship without the passport. I got mine.
Yeah, and
I got to renew it after this one for the, but I got another year left on it. But but the state issued voter ID. If it's up to Thune now to do if he ends the filibuster rule, we'll have voter ID, which is awesome and exciting. I'm excited if we have voter. The Democrats are in such a panic over it, right? And they know they're done with it. All right, you want to take some calls?
Let's do it.
All right, the number's 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Donna. I'm calling from West Virginia. I just wanted to address your statement about that Obama had no, what was it? Accomplishment?
I didn't say that. I had three callers.
You were asking the question.
I had three
and
callers.
nobody
Hold on.
answered you.
Let me tell you what happened for people that may have missed that. It's President's Day, and I'm of course celebrating the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. I've had three callers, all three of them black, 2 women, 1 man. All 3 of them told me that Barack Obama was the greatest president ever. I've asked all 3 of them to name his greatest accomplishments, and they've all said, "Don't worry about that. There's too many. I can't name just one."
Don't worry about that.
Yeah. So the Obama supporters have not been able to think of a major positive accomplishment of Obama's.
Too numerous to mention.
Yes.
Okay. He is the 7th greatest president, Obama.
The 7th greatest.
And out of, I think it was over about 170 historians ranked him
college professors.
Well, why did you look? We'll settle for just one. Give us one accomplishment.
Major positive accomplishment.
Oh.
Greatest accomplishment.
Oh, okay. This one.
Really, start with the greatest. What's his greatest accomplishment?
The greatest accomplishment was that he brought us out of the Great Recession that happened because of George Bush.
No, that happened in
Jr.
Bush's time. That happened at the end of Bush's 2nd term with the bailout. That's a Bush accomplishment.
No.
Yes.
They
passed the bailout. They passed the bailout.
Roughly $11.6 million jobs under Obama.
No. The legislation was passed by Bush. The legislation was passed by Bush at the end of his term. Yes.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, the bailout.
It fell from
the bailout.
10% to 4.7%.
Because of the bailout bill passed by Bush.
That, no, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. The bailout was passed by Bush. It was very controversial.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
No.
Steve, I can't talk to the uninformed people. The bailout was.
I'm sorry, but you're wrong.
No, the bailout was.
You might want to look it up.
It was passed by Bush.
I will continue.
Okay.
Okay.
You gave us a Bush accomplishment.
That's not.
Well, let her get to the second.
Okay.
I just want to rattle off the top 5. Go ahead.
Oh, 5. Try to get 1.
We'll give you number 1. Now get 2.
It was the Affordable Care Act, insurance coverage to 20 million people, decreasing the underinsured rate from 15.7
Obamacare
to 8.6.
When Obamacare happened, slow down. Wait. We're here till 9.
The greatest one.
Okay,
you
go
wanted
ahead.
The greatest one.
Yes.
I will tell you what it was.
Dead air.
Donald Trump used his economic plan throughout his first term. Obama's economic plan was used by Trump throughout his first entire term.
Okay, 2 things. 1, Obamacare is when I lost my insurance, and my daughter's health insurance increased by 4 times a month. Okay. But what economic plan of Obama? Excuse me.
Lost it
because it went up through the roof.
My son got it. Okay, under Obama.
Well, because I make a living.
Plan.
Because I make a living.
Okay.
If I were unemployed or a bum,
do you think black people don't make a living?
How do I know you're black? How do I know your son's black? I don't know your son. This is a phone call. I can't see you. You didn't. Now you did. I didn't know he was black before. My daughter's black, and her insurance went up 4 times.
We're black and half Native American.
Okay. Well, I'm Native American too. So Steve. He's from New York City.
Okay.
We're Native American
so let's get it straight.
Yeah.
Donald Trump used Obama's economic plan.
What plan is that?
Through his entire thing.
What plan is that?
Why?
What's the plan?
Excuse me?
What's the name of the plan that Trump's using that's Obama's?
His economic plan.
Tell us about it. What are the economic things President Trump has done that were Obama's idea?
Oh, his job decrease numbers? That was from Obama.
All right, listen, I got to run for a break. I appreciate the call. Oh, my goodness.
The job decrease number?
The job decrease number. Yeah, it's a new statistic, Steve.
That's the accomplishment?
That's the accomplishment.
We'll give her job decrease.
The job decrease, yeah. He did decrease the job of his chef, who's, they got an opening over there at the mansion on the ocean. I'm going to put you and everyone on hold, Steve, all right? So you're on hold. Everyone's on hold. This is, oh boy, not good for Obama supporters. I want to talk about Dr. Philip Appleton and his laser-away pain treatment. Dr. Appleton, not only has he rid me of pain 7 times, I've met so many listeners in this audience who are living a pain-free life because of Dr. Appleton. I run into listeners all over town who come up to me and tell me they're living a pain-free life thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser-away pain treatment. Hip pain, knee pains, neck pains, arthritis pains, slips and falls like I've had, car accidents. Living in pain is something you don't have to do. And with Dr. Appleton, there's no drugs, no shots, no injections. His robotic laser actually repairs the damage that is causing you the pain. That's why the 7 times he's rid me of pain, none of the pains have returned because he repaired the damage that was causing me the pain. From my shoulder injuries, from my falls, to my arthritis in my hand, to the knee pain from my car accident. Give Dr. Appleton a call. The consultation is free. Appointments are not necessary, even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back. All right, Steve, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, 1 minute.
There'd be some great calls there.
Yeah, we got great calls today.
There'd be some great ones on hold.
We'll find out when we get back.
After these words.
All right. 15 seconds. All right. We're back. It's Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve Kane, of course, is here. We're celebrating President Trump on his day, President's Day. And,
did that last crazy lady, the black lady that called in, did she say that one of the great accomplishments of any president was Obamacare?
Yes. That's when I lost my insurance.
It's when I lost my breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. And my daughter was a kid then, and our monthly premium on her insurance went up 4 times. Factor of 4.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, All right. You want to take some more calls?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, let's go. You're on the air.
Great callers online.
Yeah, we have. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Miss Faye from the Austin, Texas area. You got a great show as usual. I just want to say Happy President's Day to all of your listeners, and I'm so proud of our president who sent 200 troops over to Nigeria to help my black people over there.
Yes.
And I'm just so proud of him. He's a great president. And Obama's accomplishment, I have to give him credit. He was the first black president, and that let the whole world know America is not a racist country. Okay?
All right. Oh, my goodness. There you go. His greatest accomplishment was he's black.
Well, she made a point. She made a point. She made a point.
But Steve, to be black, I mean, to make it an accomplishment, being black is not something he did. He was just born that way. That's like saying your greatest accomplishment is you're a Jew. It's not. You were born a Jew. To accomplish something, you have to actually do it. I don't know. All right.
Well, I don't know.
I'm going to give her. I'm going to give her credit.
Something.
I'm going to give her that caller credit. Okay. The other callers that called in praising Obama, they've all been black callers. She's the first one that was honest. They just love him because he's black and they're black. If you say that, at least you're being honest, right? Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as opposed to trying to act like he had good policy. I mean, are you kidding me? He did. He gave us Benghazi.
He did that.
I got some other accomplishments. The Muslim Spring. Remember Muslim Spring? That was good. He gave us Black Lives Matter, BLM. Right? Remember after Trayvon Martin, he said if he had a son, he would look like Trayvon. Gave us Black Lives Matter. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm Dave from Wichita.
Wichita. What's up, Wichita?
Good morning. Happy President's Day.
Yes, here we go.
Cool.
Happy President's Day to you.
I apologize. I don't speak MAGA. Okay, I was wondering if you guys could translate this for me. Okay.
I love it.
I remember when Biden got in office. Remember this? And the MAGAs tooled up. They armed themselves to the teeth. They were ready to defend little girls from drag queens and woke and Bud Light cans. You remember when Kid Rock set up the Bud Light cans? So tell me, why is it now that you have a powerful cabal of child rapists connected to Trump? And now you guys are like, what are you worried about? What the whole Trump? Are you guys kidding me?
My simple response is nothing you said is true. So,
Okay. So the MAGAs weren't getting all in a test and arming themselves, ready to protect little girls. Remember that?
No.
The drag queens reading to school children?
No, what we were saying, listen, there's drag queens as adult entertainment. And drag queens performing in elementary schools is inappropriate.
It was a national terrorist movement with you guys.
No, if it was Hooters girls performing in elementary schools, that would be inappropriate too. There are certain things that are adult entertainment. I'm sure the Hooters girls would probably be a big turnoff to you.
Well, wait, stop and see if you agree with that. Do you agree with Brian's statement about the Hooters girl?
About the Hooters, I'm not here to talk about. I know I'm more worried.
See, you're
about
talking about women. You're talking about sexy women and boobs. He's not interested.
You guys don't care about that.
He's not interested.
Why do you guys not care about this powerful cabal of child rapists connected to your cult leader?
Do you get excited when you say these perverted words?
To take on the blue-haired kids.
I appreciate the call, Steve. Once you start talking about beautiful women and Hooters, you lost him. Okay, I mean he's not interested in that. Oh my God! Now, and I'll just when that guy
I got the hysteria then.
Yeah. When I said, "What's your name? Where are you calling from?" As soon as he said hello, I tell you guys that I can tell, Steve too, by the first syllable that a caller utters everything about them. And if you were listening closely, you heard me say, "Here we go." And I knew exactly from the first syllable everything about that guy. I don't know. It's a skill we have. I don't know. It's just something we developed over the years, Steve, but both of us. But oh, my goodness.
Yes, we can tell when someone's having an anxiety attack.
Yeah, I know. If you're on hold, hang in there. Our number is toll-free, 888.
Obama was the great accomplishment, Obamacare. That's the funniest.
Well, let me tell you, being the first black I didn't vote for Obama either time, but here's the thing with the Obamas about being the first black president. On the face of it, you would say that's a great thing, right? We have a history of, the Democrats with their Jim Crow, the Democrats with their Confederacy, and the Democrats with all the slavery and everything. And on the face of it, you might say, well, having the first black president and first family was a good thing. Michelle Obama, on a podcast interview 3 weeks ago, said that she goes out of her way to not purchase things from non-black owned businesses, that she doesn't like to buy things from white people.
Right.
That what makes
a little bit of racism there.
Hardcore. And see, with Obama, when you say, well, being the first black president is a great accomplishment, what would make that a great accomplishment is if we had reached this colorblind society status. But First Lady Michelle Obama is an out-of-the-closet, hardcore racist segregationist who hates white people, right? And that's
pretty accurate.
And what that does is that tells us that what that tells us is that Obama's presidency was a complete failure, Steve, in my book. What do you think?
He's not one of my favorite presidents.
No. All right. You want to take another call?
Sure.
Okay. By the way, to the guy that called before, it's one call per show because I'm guessing he's one of these people on hold. All right. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. All right. You missed your chance. All right. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, Brian. Morning, Steve. It's Jefferson out of California.
Hey, California.
Good morning.
Hey, morning, Steve. It's wonderful to hear you again. I personally think that there's nothing that Obama, as far as his policies and programs, anybody would want to replicate because they're complete failures.
Yeah.
The medical, he destroyed the insurance industry.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't make it better. He made it worse. And we're in the catastrophe as of right now due to him and his Ponzi scheme related to healthcare.
Yes.
And our president has policies that European countries are finally waking up and recognizing that they should be instituting, formalizing, and initiating. I don't know, Brian, if you know, or if that you've mentioned, but there's a former MP in Britain who sounds very much like Trump, and he's been in politics. It's, It's Restore Britain, and he's basically saying immigration has to stop, they have to go. If you're not going to be productive and love our country, then you can leave too, and we'll make you if we have to.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're coming up against the break, so I got to let you run, but you make a lot of good points, and the phones are ringing off the hook. I'll tell you, if you're on hold, stand by, and we will go back to the phones in a moment. Did you see Marco Rubio in Europe speaking in Munich, Steve?
Yes.
Oh man, was he
very
not
impressive?
Wasn't he?
By the way, I got to give you kudos for that. You have really, you used to really be anti-Marco Rubio. You remember that during the last presidential campaign?
Well, years ago.
And you really left an open mind. Let me get the compliment out.
Oh, okay.
Because you left an open mind. A lot of people, when they make a mistake, they won't admit it, and they don't, they get defensive about it.
Yeah.
But you were giving credit where credit's due, because Marco, I think, has always been a top potential of the party.
He's changed.
And you were calling him a traitor and all that.
I think you have him confused with DeSantis, the sanctimonious, Ron DeSantis. No, Marco Rubio, he ran against Trump 10 years ago and was doing terrible things.
Yes.
And years ago, he was for amnesty, years ago, before he ran for president 10 years ago. But he's changed, like a lot of people do. You grow up, you know.
I'm impressed by him. I like
Absolutely. How could you not be? I'll tell you who else.
We have an embarrassment of riches in the Republican Party.
Yeah, I'll tell you who else I'm impressed with, and that's Jupiter Joe Thomas. You know, and what he's done for listeners of ours in regards to annuities. You know, I've talked to a lot of our listeners who are clients of Jupiter Joe Thomas, and I ask every one of them the same question. What do you like most about annuities? They all tell me the same thing, no matter what their financial situation is. Some of them are working people that work very hard with hourly wage jobs. Some of them are millionaires many times over. And they've all told me the same thing. It's that guaranteed income each and every month. And what's happened is that people are living so long now. A lot of people retire in their 60s, even their early 70s, but people are living 25, 30 years or even longer after retirement. And what seemed like a great retirement income 30 years ago isn't paying the bills or giving them the lifestyle they want all these years later. And that's where that guaranteed income stream comes in from Jupiter Joe Thomas. Give him a call. Take advantage of that no-charge consultation. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And if you missed the number, go to his website. It's the easiest website to remember, jupiterjoe.com. We'll be right back. All right. All right, I'm going to put you on hold for a minute, Steve. Hold on. Got about 90 seconds. All right, Steve, you there?
Yes, I am.
I've got 90 seconds. There's no gold report today, so we're doing it. It's running recorded because it's a holiday.
Okay.
Got about 40 seconds. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. It is President's Day, and we are here live. All right, you want to take some more calls, Steve?
Let's do it.
All right, there is one opening on the board. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, good morning. Hello?
Yes.
Good morning.
Yeah, hi.
What can we do for you?
James, Yeah, I wanted to speak to Brian.
You got me.
Go ahead.
Hey, Brian, my friends and I here at the office, we listen to you every morning. We just wanted to let you know that even though you support a pedophile, we don't think anything less of you. We still plan to continue watching your show and listening.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You like people that protect pedophiles,
I think
right?
you just
I
like
like
saying...
people that can carry. I like people that can carry on a conversation that goes beyond a sentence.
Yeah, he thought... See, what happened with that guy is he didn't have anything... He didn't have anything to say after that, so he thought I would hang up on him, so he was just going to keep saying it over and over and over.
But don't get discouraged, sir. Try again tomorrow. We'll see if you can do better.
We really need, Steve, to have a therapist on this program. We have a lot of mentally challenged people in this audience that have issues.
Exactly.
Yeah. Before we go back to the phones, hold on a second. I'm in shock because what I'm looking at is every line on the board is lit on President's Day, and which is a little surprising on a holiday because there were hardly any cars on the road this morning when I left. So a lot of people are off work today. But before we go back to the phone, Steve, I want to talk about Life Imaging FLA. You know, it's February. It is American Heart and National Cancer Prevention Month. And Life Imaging FLA is all about preventative health care. And that's through early detection, which helps you live long enough to see life's most precious moments. Your heart and your health do matter because they are counting on you. Prevention today means memories tomorrow. You know, I've had all these scans, and what a peace of mind my wife, my daughter, my mother got, because I've told you guys my cholesterol's been so high for so long. Everyone thought I was a heart attack waiting to happen, especially at my age. And when I went over there for the heart scan and found out I have no plaque, no blockage, nothing, it was such a relief. Life Imaging FLA have locations in Broward, Palm Beach, and Dade County. Call Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan now with a few minimum requirements valued at $699. From your cell, call pound 250 and say the keyword free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250, just say free heart scan, and you'll be connected in seconds. All right, you want to go back to the phone, Steve? Oh, did I lose you? Did I lose everybody? Hold on. Are you back with us, Steve? Hold on. I lost Steve right here at the end. Hold on. Okay. All right. That's not. Hold on a second. I see. All right. You back with us?
Hi, good morning, guys.
Hold on, Chris. I'm looking for Steve. I got him on hold here. I just lost. Steve, are you with us? Nope. I lost Steve in the end. Okay. Hold on. We'll go to the phone. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Jupiter.
Hey, Jupiter.
Hey, President Obama, his successes, his accomplishments, the number one, which will go down in history, he brought us Joe Biden, who destroyed the Democratic Party for the next 50 years.
Well, Jupiter, that's a great point. I agree with that 100%. You made a very good point. I'm going to try to get Steve back before the end of the show here, and then here we go. All right, I'll get Steve back on the line, and then we'll go back to the phones. Hang in there, guys. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to hear it because I think I mistakenly disconnected Steve.
Hello?
Hey, Steve, sorry, I lost you.
there?
I lost you on the line. I hit the wrong button when I was knocking off our
Okay, I'm back. Let's go.
our last caller. All right, let's. Somebody did have a great accomplishment for Obama. He gave us Biden.
What was that?
He gave us Biden,
He gave us Biden.
who destroyed the
Yeah.
Democrat Party. Yes, that's a great accomplishment. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, this is B.
B?
Can you hear me? Yes.
All right, B.
What do you got for us?
All right. What'd you say?
I said, what do you have for us?
Just about the topic about Obama, his accomplishments, what he did. I think you all were being very disingenuous to the lady who came on, who was talking about the 2009 American Repair Act, Recovery and Reinvestment Act.
Oh, that was the one with the
I think-
shovel-ready jobs that didn't exist. That was a different bill than what she was
no.
talking about.
No, I think, if you're going to say that, well, I think, because she was talking about the recession and the reinvestment, and you all are saying Obama didn't do nothing. I can name out a few stuff. Obamacare.
Disaster. That was a disaster.
How was it a disaster?
Well,
if you don't mind?
on day one, the website didn't work, remember? They gave the website duties to a friend of Michelle's, and they stole the money, and it didn't work. Remember that? It was a disaster.
Okay.
Your voice changed.
No, it didn't change. It's been the same. I don't know what you mean.
I heard a different voice. Did you hear a different voice there for a second?
Let's get back to the accomplishment. Let's get back to the accomplishment.
Let's just get back to the topic.
Go ahead.
The bailout was 2008. That was Bush.
Okay, next.
The bailout wasn't 2008. The bailout was 2009.
No,
You got another one. We're going to have to talk the whole rest of the show about this one because you don't have another.
Okay. I'll have another one, but I thought we were focused on Obamacare right now because he's trying to educate me on how it was bad.
What? Name the others. Come on, let's go. Rattle them off.
All right. Sure.
Number two is what?
Number two.
You did Obamacare. That was one.
Which was a
What's
failure.
two? Okay, bailing out Wall Street and the American
That was 08 and Bush.
Bailing them out.
That was 08 and Bush. That was 08 and Bush. I'm going to let him go. There's two voices on that phone. I'm hearing two voices on that phone. I don't care what the guy says. I guess the other guy is a white guy. There's a white guy and a black guy on that same phone call talking to each other. All right.
I don't know, but you didn't hang up on him, did you?
No, I did. I had to let him go, Steve. The lines were
he was just getting ready to name his second thing.
Oh, Steve, we only have like 2 minutes left, and he's never going to name a second thing. I got a full board here. Let's see what else we got. We're open to Obama.
Go ahead.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian,
if we
what's
take
up?
a look at, hi, Steve, how are you? If we take a look at how complex the office of the presidency is, I'm not sure before Trump we have any presidents could handle the current situation that the president has to deal with on a global basis. Now, if you look at the way Obama handled Iran, he sent pallets of cash over to solve problems.
That's correct.
Trump sends over a strike group.
That's
strike
true.
group.
There you go.
This is a very different world now. And I really, you talk about Marco
so
Rubio
your example of an Obama accomplishment is he funded Islamic terrorism by sending the cash to Iran. That's a good. All right, we're short on time. That's a good one. Okay, I'll give you that one. All right, you want to take some more, Steve? We got a full board. I'm gonna
go.
We'll do a lightning round. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, how you doing? I'm sorry, let me load this radio. Good morning. I'm from Boca. My name is Brian also. I just wanted to say,
here we go.
You've been talking about Obama, and I got one thing to, my wife and I voted for him twice because we've been bamboozled by him, and that's what everybody been, bamboozled by Obama. That's the main thing.
Yes, he was a good bamboozler.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's a bamboozler. He's a sweet talker, and we believed him. I thought everything was going to be great when he came in to the
You believed him. So when he said everybody's got to have some skin in the game, you know,
right?
You thought that was good.
Yeah,
communism.
And I thought, I thought, I swear, my wife and I thought that this guy is going to bring white people and black people together better than ever. And he made it worse. He made it worse, and I'm telling you, we're not a racial country. We've changed over the years. Nobody realizes we're not the same we used to be back in the 50s and the 60s. It's different now.
Yes.
Everybody's accepted no matter what color you are. And I go by the great Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes.
I go by him.
That's
color is just a color. It's what's in your heart. Everybody's good.
Yes.
Mostly everybody's good. And Obama made it worse.
All right.
And
I agree.
no
Take care. Take care. All right. One more call, Steve. We're almost out of time. It's the lightning round. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. You're on the air.
Yeah, I'm back again. This is B.
One call per day. One call per day. B. Well, one more. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, good morning, gentlemen. Chris from Pompano Beach.
Hey, Chris.
Chris,
what's up?
Time in this app. Hey, how's it going on this great President's Day here?
Oh, yes.
Good day to be American, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
That's why I'm calling.
Every day is a good day to be an American.
There you go. You know, here in the year of our nation's 250th anniversary.
We're at the end. We got 20 seconds, Chris. So we're almost out of time.
Well, I just want to say I'm on a new.
You get the last word.
I overheard some unusual bias this weekend, Valentine's weekend, and now I'm on a new crusade to get out there and put out some truth. Of course, I'm going to refer everyone to your radio show.
That's right.
But they were talking about ICE. They were talking about ICE and the current administration, how bad everything was, which was a total lie. So I'm pissed. So I'm going to get out there in the streets now and do what I can do.
And hold up a sign advertising the Steve Kane Show. That's a great idea, Chris. All right, I appreciate the call. Well, listen, we're out of time for today. The rest of you on hold, stand by. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m., and if you're on hold, you'll be first in line on tomorrow's show. Steve, I tell you, ending the show with a full board of calls. That's a good feeling, isn't it? Oh, man.
Yep.
It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. All right, Steve, I'll talk to you later. All right, take care. All right. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And everyone who's subscribed, please like the video before you go. Liking the video helps people find this show that have not found it yet. So please like the video. My name's Brian. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Thanks for watching.